So much work, so much preparation, it's led to this. Welcome to the final episode of Dragon Quest IV Chapters of the Chosen. And yes, I've trained, and trained a lot. This will be the go-to team that I will be using for the final battle. And sadly, Psaro doesn't have a helmet. He can't even equip that, which is worse. Seriously, how come he doesn't have that? I gotta see if it's possible if I can get him at least a helmet. Well, what do you know? He can. Let's give him the Iron Mask. Oh yeah. Let me sell off what I don't need. No, I'm not gonna sell that. Yeah, I put almost all my money in my bank. But yeah, we welcome you to the final episode of Dragon Quest IV Chapters of the Chosen. Yes, I do want to sell something else. Jeez, tough decisions. No, this is tough, like I said. I need to get him an Iron Mask so he can withstand defenses some more. Alright, that'll have to do it. Let's get him the Iron Mask. Yeah, we need to have multiple healers for this job. It's come to this after all. We are in the end game. We need to head to Diabolic Hall. That's where we need to go. It's come all this way for this. Besides, it seems that there's some other force at work. Yep, it's Aamon. Psaro, what is the meaning of this? Ah, I see. Your expression says it all. Yes, it was I, Aamon, who effected Rose's death and ensured your demise. Can you control your hatred, your loathing? But what of self-loathing? What shame could be greater than joining forces with the humans? No matter. You are too late, Psaro. Your time is past. And now I will show you my new form, the very pinnacle of evolution. Know now of your curse. Know now that you were born in the era of the one true ruler, the era of Aamon. This is the true final boss of the game, Aamon. And we better get to work. We also gotta make sure we boost our defenses. He is high on HP and MP. Not to mention, he could take serious damage. Oh yeah, he has the Sage Stone. It ain't much, but it can actually mean the difference. Nice. Now we cannot relent. Of course he debuffs. Yeah, of course he would do this. Yes, this is a 4-phase fight. We gotta get our buffs back up. Alright, that did it. Now it begins a second form. And why does it look like Psaro the Manslayer's form when we fought him earlier in the finale? We better go on the offensive at least. Yes, by this point he attacks twice. Yeah, but we're gonna debuff him. Good. Very good. Dang. We've already made it past the halfway point now. This seems very familiar. Okay then. Guess this means we have no choice but to fight. And like I said, he'll attack twice. And deal serious elemental damage. That's not gonna stop me. No way, no how. His oomph is worn off. But then... yeah, now we're in the final phase. Gotta make every move count. And he unleashes a Kafrizzle. I respond with a Giga Sword. This could end pretty badly, depends. Thankfully, Omni Heal does it for me. Good. Boost up double attack and then never relent. You must never relent against him. If you're unprepared, you're gonna get wiped. A cold breath. Yep, we gotta defend a turn, taking it to the defensive. And I gotta be ready just in case. Of course he negates our buffs. That disruptive wave is always the worst thing. Good. Now I got my defenses back up. Psaro falls in with deep sleep. Gotta keep everybody alive. Gotta keep the buffs going. This is gonna get tough as nails. But with my training, what could go wrong? But truth is, anything can go wrong. Was it actually worth it? And he spews forth blazing fire. Coming along nicely, plus I have multiple healings, so I'm basically not in danger. Except for that. Like I said, I'm not really that much in danger. Good, that should drop his defenses. Buff's disabled. Was it really worth it, you know? It better be. Ragnar, boost your attack power. Oh dear. Yeah, he just did a magic burst. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Yep, a malevolent energy and he recovers his MP fast. Wake up, Ragnar. We need you. I got multi-heal at the ready. Get that defense drop. And that's it. It's over. We're done. Ridiculous. Or is this an illusion? A secret of evolution? Working some trickery? I am the one true leader, the master of monster kind. Aamon. The party hear a voice calling out of nowhere. Return to us, Solo. Return to Zenithia. Solo? Can you hear me, Solo? People still think of me as a monster. I wouldn't be welcome in Zenithia. So this is farewell. I must leave now. Perhaps our paths will one day cross again. But who can say if it will be as friends or as enemies? I am the Zenith Dragon. From my lofty dominion here, I observe all that takes place below. All that afflicts the human world occurs under my watchful eye. Behold the one who shares the blood of human and Zenithian alike, the great hero Solo. I witnessed how your efforts drove the secret of evolution deep into oblivion. Monster kind cannot be held entirely to blame for its actions. An existence where only one's closest companions can be trusted must truly be a sad one. But in any case, no fear need now afflict you or your kind. Peace reigns once more over your domain. You 8, the Chosen, have just completed your chapters. I applaud your courage and determination. Ragnar McRyan, well done. You have fought bravely and resolutely. Alana, though you were raised a princess, you have shown great strength and courage. Boria and Kiryu, the support you have provided to Alana has been exemplary. Nina and Maya, be assured that your miraculous feats will have set your father's soul at rest. Tornico Taloon, people will continue to rely on your extraordinary gift for commerce. And I must also give mention to Psaro, the master of monster kind. Alas, I do not see him before me. Has he taken his leave of us? Very well. Without his assistance, perhaps the true evil could not have been quashed. And then there is you, Solo. Words cannot describe the greatness of your importance. Such an exalted hero belongs here with us. Henceforth you will live here in Zenithia among the Zenithians. Do I detect an air of disappointment? Your desire to return to the roar below and live among your friends? I see. Very well, if you wish it thus, then so shall it be. The fellowship born among you all in the midst of battle shall be broken by none. Fare thee well, Solo. I guess even the Zenithian dragon knew that. And like before, we leave. We are not needed here anymore anyway. No, not through the left, but through the right. Yeah, we've beaten the game. This time, I'm done with Dragon Quest IV. I'm finished with this game. Yep, we gotta enter it the other way. And thus we depart to the world below. Okay, so normally this is where I provide my final thoughts on this game. Let me be as brief as possible. I don't want to be too long because I have a reason for this. After having played the post-game and defeated the true final boss, Aamon, I can honestly say that this game is simply amazing. I enjoyed it very much. Compared to the first 3 games, Dragon Quest IV felt different. It used a chapter-based system, allowing the focus on several characters and giving them time to shine. I liked that. And I liked how it all set up for the 5th chapter when we meet the hero and how he was able to find everyone. Not to mention the party-based system allowed you to improvise and plan. I'm thankful this version allowed you to control your party members because in the original NES version, Dragon Warrior 4, you couldn't. Unless you inputted a Game Genie code. I'm not kidding. A Game Genie code that allows you to pick, or rather let you choose your party members' orders? Yeah, that's very telling. The addition of a 6th chapter gave me a reason to keep on going and see the journey through. I'm very thankful that we got Psaro as a party member, but having to go through a huge dungeon was a challenging sort. But it was worth it because it gave me a good excuse to grind up my party. I'm thankful for that. It made the endgame worth it, and honestly I liked it. Overall, Dragon Quest IV on the DS is a really fun game, an enjoyable game, and in my opinion, it's way better than the original NES version. I only wish that Square Enix can get their heads out of their asses and actually considering this and many other Dragon Quest games onto modern consoles. There's just no excuse. I've said this once, and I will say it repeatedly to no end. But you can always emulate and experience it for yourself. I highly recommend it. Now then, let's talk about the real reason why I decided to take a detour. It turns out the 6th chapter of the game's story was not in the original NES version. In truth, it actually was brought over from the previous remake of this game. As you know, Dragon Quest IV was remade, not once, but twice. What you're seeing here is a screenshot from the manual of Dragon Warrior 7 for the PS1, the last page, the very back. That game came out in 2001 and it didn't do well sales-wise. But in the manual, it showed an announcement that we would be getting a remake of Dragon Warrior 4, or rather Dragon Quest IV, titled Dragon Warrior 4. It was supposed to come out in 2002, but it never happened. You're probably wondering one thing. Why? In terms of finding out why, there were a multitude of reasons. One of the biggest was that the developers behind it, Heartbeat, was shutting down its video game development operations. It was cited that they wanted to take a sabbatical from the industry. There was more to it than that. According to an article by Diabolic of DQShrine.com, it detailed this. It was revealed that Enix couldn't pass this on to another developer due to time and development cost. But it turns out that things were much worse for Enix, aside from those reasons. According to said article, by 2001, the PS1 was a dying system. The PS2 had released in 2000 and companies put more focus on that console, despite the fact that the PS2 had full backwards compatibility with the PS1. Enix knew this, and they couldn't hire another team to do it. Made worse was that if they did, it would have been a financial disaster. Plus, they would have to price the game really low, like around $10 to $20. Had it been the case, the price alone wouldn't recoup the costs. Enix would have not just gone bankrupt, but would have closed their doors. Fans thought Enix was screwing with them, but it was Heartbeat that did the screwing. The worst part was that Enix's US branch was never told. That's messed up. And do you want to know the worst part about all this? Had they went through with it all and went out of business, the merger between Square and Enix would not have happened. In fact, had it not happened, both Squaresoft and Enix would have experienced closures, and franchises like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and others wouldn't continue on. How's that for scary? As I said, things were getting much worse for Enix. Rising development costs along with delayed games caused them to endure one of their worst fiscal years. By 2000, their stock had dropped by about 40%, but they thought they could press on. They were wrong. 1 year later, in 2001, another delayed game did a massive hit to their bottom line and angering investors. In the end, they can only make about 11% of their annual Q1 predictions. So you can probably tell the situation they were in. Heartbeat shut their doors without Enix America telling them. Enix as a company was facing one of their worst years, and had they went through with finding another programmer, they would have been done. But it wasn't really the end. Heartbeat's many programmers would form two different companies. The first was Genius Sorority, a company responsible for creating such titles such as Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I've covered them. They are still around to this day. As for the other, several members formed their own company called Arte Piazza, and they would still be around to this day. Aside from doing Dragon Quest, their most recent contribution was the remake of Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars on Nintendo Switch. If you haven't seen my playthrough, then what the actual hell are you doing? Please be sure to check it out and show some love. I only wish I got the same love for playthroughs like these. Now that I've finished Dragon Quest, what's next? I made a promise to a friend who pretty much is the reason I'm doing DS and 3DS games again, that I would do Kirby Triple Deluxe. I plan to do that, and I plan to make good on it. If it wasn't for him, none of this would have been possible. I speak of Big Cammy 007. Of course, if you want a shout out for your own, donation links in the description below. It ain't mandatory, but it is appreciated if you can. But once I get that done, when next we meet, the next chapter of the Zenithian trilogy unfolds. Hundreds of years have passed since the era of Solo and his allies. The world has become different, and a new threat has emerged. One that has already wiped away descendants of said legend. Now only 3 remain, but our focus is toward a family that is spread through 3 generations. You have Pancras, a former king who is out on a journey. His son, Abel, who follows his own journey, and ultimately would marry and bring children of his own. But which woman would be his betrothed? Would it be his childhood friend, Bianca Whitaker, the adopted daughter of Rodrigo, Nera Briscoletti? Or would it be her sister, Deborah Briscoletti? Who would be Abel's wife that would bring twin children? Twins that would help this family defeat a dark order and their mysterious master. This and many other questions you'll have to find out. See you in our next playthrough, Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride, for the Nintendo DS. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button. It truly means a lot to me. Please don't forget to do these 5 simple things. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. It seriously helps, given how YouTube has continually screwed over creators thanks to their broken algorithm. And yeah, comments do help. Believe me, I know. I'll see you then. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. See you next time. And thank you.